It's your man, 100 grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. It's been a while since I've been on here, but it's been for good reason. I told y'all at the beginning, even in the playoffs, I was probably telling y'all throughout the second half of the season that it was going to be fireworks this offseason. It was going to be fireworks all the way through. People were going to be moving around, teams are going to be reshuffling. And I decided to take the stance of I'm going to wait until the smoke clears. So that's why I haven't been getting on there every 5 seconds. I know some individuals, it's their full-time job. They gotta get on here and try to generate as much content to get as much likes and subscriptions and all this stuff. I do it for the love. I do it for the love. And a part of that love is understanding you know what? Sometimes some stuff that seems like it's everything in the moment may not be everything when all the smoke clears. Some of these moves that everyone is excited about, talking about, it's this, it's that, up and down. I'm like, man, when it's all said and done, by the time mid July hits, Summer League hits, we're going to be talking about something completely different and used up all this energy. But, I digress. It is what it is. Some people, they want to comment on every single thing. That's just not me. That's just not me. I'm watching, ear to the ground, I'm paying attention. And I want to talk about some of the teams who have caught my eye so far. And before I really dive in, it's your man 100 grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Hope you enjoy this channel. If you do, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. It definitely helps out the channel, and it makes sure that you are tapped into the algorithm when I go live. If you enjoy doing interactive chats where you get to chop it up with me in the comment section, and I potentially have a chance to respond to your comment, you can send a super chat and we'll stop and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. Otherwise, let's just dive in it. Here's the thing. Let's just start off with the Detroit Pistons. Pistons are in a great spot. Trajan Langdon has done everything that we asked for him to do. And I mean collectively asked him to do. I wanted him to preserve the core, right? The young guys. Let's make sure that we keep them at the center of things, ensure that they have an opportunity to continue to grow and excel, because I truly do believe they have the makings of a championship core. Cade, Asar, Ivy, Duran, Ron Holland, Marcus Sasser, Isaiah Stewart. And we'll see what we have in Bobby Clement and Chaz Lanier. But I wanted to keep that young core at the center. And then most of you, every time I said, let's keep the young core at the center, you said, well, we have to make some improvements. We can't just run it back. And I wasn't saying that. I kept clarifying. Yes, we're going to upgrade on the periphery. We are going to upgrade our veteran supportive cast. And that's necessary. We just didn't need to bring in players to be directly at our core. We did not need to bring in someone who was going to reshift how everyone needs to play together, who's going to be someone who's going to demand shots, attention, that the coaching staff is going to have to include within its schemes. We did not need to bring in someone who is going to demand a huge adjustment from the rest of the team. There was already going to be enough of an adjustment with Asar and Ivy being in the starting lineup together. Jaden Ivey building off of what he showed in the playoffs. Ivy building off of what he did in the first half of the season before the injury. Asar Thompson building off what he was able to show in the second half of the season. If you haven't checked out Asar Thompson and Ron Holland's highlights from last season, just go take a look. I forget the cat's name on X, on Twitter. He does all the highlights. I'll be trying to find him on YouTube, but he does a whole bunch of highlights for just individual players, just showing what they've got, showing what they've done. And if I'm honest with you, every time I look at the highlights for Ron Holland, and I look at the highlights for Asar Thompson, and I look at the highlights for Ivy, Cade, what they were doing last season, I'm reminded just how incredibly talented they all are. Incredibly talented. And then when I look around the landscape of the league, I said, well, who's got more talent? Who's got more talent than these dudes? I don't see someone with more talent. I don't. That's available. Who we're gonna get who's gonna be that much of a significant upgrade. And when I think about the trajectory that the league is going, and remember, I keep saying over and over, 3-point shooting is great. 3-point shooting is great. But playmaking, defense, versatility, ability to create your own shot, having a diverse skill set, those things actually mean far more than pure shooting. So it's great when somebody points out this individual is a great shooter. Duncan Robinson's a great shooter, right? Being able to create your own shot off the bounce, being able to defend, being able to rebound, being able to play make, being able to facilitate, being able to be diverse in what you bring to the table. That had far more leverage in the playoffs than the pure shooters. It's not saying it's not important. So all that's to say is that when we look at the landscape of the league, the Pistons are sitting pretty. The Pistons are sitting absolutely pretty because they already know who their core is. They're not going out looking for a culture guy, a guy to add significantly to the roster to be able to take that next step. Everyone who is going to elevate this team from where they were, 14 wins, jumping up to 44 wins, and continuing to climb that ladder into a championship window is already on the team, which means you're already building continuity and chemistry amongst that young core, just like Oklahoma City did, just like the Indiana Pacers did, just like most really good teams who excel, they build from within. They're not constantly making all sorts of moves nonstop, especially to the core. If you're making a whole lot of moves, and I've been having this outlook this entire offseason since it kicked off. If you're making a whole lot of moves, whole lot of trades, acquisitions, draft picks, you're probably not in a good position. I'll say that again. If you're making a lot of moves, you're probably not in a good position. If you're stepping into an offseason where now all of a sudden you're scrambling to make this deal, that deal, this deal, that deal, that's called high turnover. You don't want high turnover, especially when it comes to your core. And so teams like the Brooklyn Nets, teams like the New Orleans Pelicans, even though I like what the Pelicans did, I even like what the Nets did. But it speaks to the state of the franchise and where the organization is at. That you don't have certain fundamental foundational things figured out. Charlotte Hornets, I like what they did. They're still figuring it out. Winning teams make the right move, the best move. They make that move that sets them apart. They don't make a whole lot of moves. And so some of y'all are looking for the Pistons or whatever your favorite team is to make a whole lot of moves. If they're making a lot of moves, meaning honestly, anything more than maybe 3 moves, significant moves, I mean trades, right? Bringing in new players who are going to be a part of the core or focus for the next season. If you're having 3, 4, 5 of those trades, you're not really in a good place. You're kind of starting at the bottom. Doesn't mean you can't have a big jump. It's just it's not a strong indicator. Some of these comments. Oh, no comments yet. All right. Let me know who you think is probably having one of the stronger off seasons in the comment section because I think that this is a great discussion when we look at what's been taking place so far. You look at teams like the Miami Heat, which I'm really curious about because they have a really strong young core. Denver and Milwaukee are the strongest right now, in my opinion. Casio, good point. Milwaukee, I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into them. And definitely Denver. I mean, Denver's Denver. Denver keeps Denvering. Right. Being able to trade Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson was like, hell yes. Hell yes. Hell yes. For both sides. But let me start off with the Miami Heat. I'm confused. Is Pat Riley still running the show? And if so, why? Why? Aaron Corals was good, man. You said Houston, Orlando, Denver, and Atlanta. I got 2 for Denver and Atlanta. I like them as well, especially Houston. Especially Houston. Miami, I think they need a new person running that show. They are scared to pull the trigger on certain moves that shows that they're kind of just lingering, melandering. It's almost like good old boys club, okay with mediocrity at the highest level because they're on the in crowd. They're in the in group. Look, Tyler Hero is never going to be that guy for you. He's never going to be that guy for you. Bam Adebayo, you know who he is and what he is and what he's not. And he's never going to be that guy for you. Meaning neither are going to be your best 1 or 2 players on a championship team. Either of them. So you need to trade for that guy. You need to sign that guy. You need to draft that guy. And the fact that they haven't been adamant about acquiring that guy shows me they're kind of just floating along. Yasikevicius in the no Kasparis Yakashonis in the draft. You know how many holes he has in his game? Maybe they think he could become Goran Dragic. Nope. There's only one Goran Dragic, the Dragon. He was dope. He was a bucket. Kasparis is not him. I don't know why they didn't move up to at least take a flyer on someone like Nolan Traore, Jeremiah Fears. These would have been great guys to move up for. But at the same time, they have a good young core, right? I love Jaime Jaquez. I really like Khalil Ware. I think he's going to be big time for them, especially as he gets stronger on that Miami Heat workout plan. Um, but yeah, I don't know what Miami's doing. Denver, on the other hand, I see exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing. They needed to get everyone on the same boat. To me, what sold Miami is their continued interest in Dame despite the injury. I don't understand that. I don't understand all the conversation around a guy who just tore his Achilles. Was he 34, 35, 36-year-old guy who just look, he's talented. One of the all-time greatest, top 75. He was one of my favorite players of all time. All time. I'm not even thinking about him this offseason. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. So I don't know anyone who's talking about him right now. Any team that's talking about it, I'm like, really for what? We all know it takes you a solid year of play after you get back before you truly get your confidence back after tearing your Achilles or even your ACL, a major injury. Right? So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? All right. Denver on the other hand, I love what they're doing. Bringing in Cam Johnson for Michael Porter Jr., bringing in a team first guy who fits within a system for a guy who probably a little bit more talented, more athletic, bigger, stronger, probably has more to prove to himself, but was never going to get the opportunity to be that guy in Denver. He's not better than Jokic. He's not better than Murray. He's not more important than Aaron Gordon. And I would have to say Christian Brown is probably creeping up on him in terms of importance. He was always the contract to be moved, and he got moved. He gets an opportunity in Brooklyn, and Denver gets a guy who can light it up. Absolutely light it up. He fits extremely well in that type of a system. I think he's going to eat. Absolutely eat. So I love what Brooklyn is doing. I love what even the guys that they're resigning. Zaire Williams, Day'Ron Sharp, right? Cam Thomas. I think they're going to have a bunch of young guards there, and Ben Serif and Nolan Traore and Igor Denham. I don't like that draft pick for Igor Denham, but it is what it is. Uh, Brooklyn is going to be an interesting team that I honestly feel like they doubled down for next year's draft, which I keep telling y'all is more talented, far more talented than this draft. AJ DeBonsa, Cam Boozer, Darren Peterson, and I forget something Brown, the point guard, something Brown. Y'all, let me know if you know who I'm talking about. There's supposed to be a point guard that's supposed to be crazy right now coming into next year's draft. So all I say is Brooklyn is doubling down for that. Another team that I want to mention that someone brought up that I really like what they're doing is Houston. Great job. The all-in move, the timing of it, more than anything, the ability to keep Jabari Smith Jr. I thought he was for sure gone. They move on from Jalen Green, who I kept telling y'all Amin Thompson has surpassed him as the franchise player. I said that last season. Um, I said that when he got drafted that he was going to do that. Y'all can go back in the annals and check. But it's to say that they brought in Kevin Durant. They kept Fred VanVleet. They retained a lot of their veterans. Steven Adams. Still got Alper and Şengün. Brought in some more size. And they got their veterans. This is a team that's going to be deep. They're going to be competitive. They're going to be fighting to get right back to that top 3 seed. Whether or not they can get to a Western Conference Finals or NBA Finals is yet to be seen. But man, it's hard to bet against Amin Thompson and that level of talent. And I think that when they get into the playoffs, yeah, and they got Clint Capella and Dorian Finney-Smith. Um, I think when they get into the playoffs, they're going to be outright scary because Amin Thompson and his ability to get downhill. Now you have shooters like Kevin Durant, Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith Jr. That's going to be scary as hell. Absolutely terrifying. 6'7" Amin Thompson jumping out of the gym, coming at you full speed. It's going to be scary. See, some of these other teams, Orlando, love what they did with Desmond Bane. Love what they did with Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane was easily uh, one of the best acquisitions for a playoff team out there. His ability to be a high level shot maker and shot creator, a volume scorer who can play within a system, who doesn't need to dominate the ball, but has the ability to play make with the ball in his hands, gives them a wrinkle of offense that they've been searching for a while. And if I'm honest with you, I think we see by the end of the season the offensive tier, first, second, third, it's going to look more like Paolo, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner. I think Desmond Bane is going to, just because of where he's able to make plays from. And I think we see Wagner fold more into that tertiary Swiss Army knife role rather than as a primary kind of shot creator, facilitator. But either way, I love what Orlando's doing. Um, they needed that move big time. And I think that they put themselves in a position to not just be in the mix for the Eastern Conference Finals. They're going to have to be healthy, as always, knock on wood. But with the right matchup, I can completely see them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I can with a lot of other teams too. Let me see. What are the other teams that you all thought did a great job? Houston, Orlando, Denver, Atlanta. I'll say this. If Atlanta had known that DeAndre Ayton was going to get bought out, I think they hold off on the Porzingis deal. Excuse me. Completely. I think they hold off on the Porzingis deal if they thought for a moment they could have gotten DeAndre Ayton. People really underestimate how talented DeAndre Ayton is. It's funny, I've always said this, that many times in the NBA, when a player isn't who you want them to be, many times in the media, they malign them. And then you actually forget who they are. And DeAndre Ayton is one of the more talented centers in the NBA. Period. Point blank. He is one of the most. He does so many things at an above average level. It's hard to find a comparison. It really is. You got Jokic, you got Embiid, and then you've got a discussion. You got Karl Anthony Towns, sure, but he doesn't play defense at all. He's a black hole. Doesn't make smart plays, not dependable. DeAndre Ayton anchored a defense and offense on the interior all the way through to an NBA Finals run against the Milwaukee Bucks. and held it down against Giannis, Brook Lopez, and Bobby Portis as the primary and almost only big man that they had that was reliable. And they almost won it all. Almost. When he gets to the Lakers with Luca, LeBron, Austin Reeves, he's going to eat. DeAndre Ayton is going to absolutely eat when he gets to the Lakers. He's honestly going to end up on that LeBron plan, just like Luca, getting to the best shape of your life, not cheating the game, not cheating the game. He's going to be locked in. He'll be in La La Land, and he's going to look damn good. Because I'll say right now, he's a better center than Porzingis, better center than Onyeka Okongwu. He's a better center than I want to say the vast majority of centers outside of Embiid and Jokic. When you start talking about Sabonis, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk. But the reality is, you don't have too many 7-foot centers with a 7'6" wingspan who can block shots, rebound, score on the interior with both hands, extremely soft touch, can catch pretty much anything you throw at him, high or low, can score in the pivot on the block. He can face up, shoot over the top, range that extends out to 20 feet. Should be shooting threes already. Should have been shooting threes. Hits his free throws, rebounds in volume. Great screen setter. And he's proven he can anchor a defense all the way through into the NBA Finals. How many other centers can you say all those things about? Bam Adebayo is barely kind of getting there, but he's 6'9". He's 6'9". So these are things that I've been noticing when it comes to this offseason. I think when it comes to moving forward for the Detroit Pistons, yeah, I love Duncan Robinson. I love Karis LeVert. Great pickup because I'm also not that invested in that part of it. Like, yes, they were going to get shooters. They were going to get an upgrade for the veterans. Great job. All right, cool. We know who's actually going to make the jump for us. We know who that is. We know exactly who they are. It's not the guys they're bringing in. Those are not going to be the difference makers that changes it all for us. A question for the chat. Who do you think takes the biggest jump on the Detroit Pistons next season? Who do you think takes the biggest jump for the Detroit Pistons next season? If this trade goes in for Malik Monk, it tells that we're not committed to Jaden Ivey. JB loves to play vets. Let me see. It would put extra pressure on Ivy. What do you think? Let me say this. Asar probably Ivy if he recovers well. I think he will recover well. But either Asar or Sasser, only because Sasser needs to make the jump. He does need to make the jump to be able to save his career. You think Cade makes the biggest jump? Boston Manny, I want you to let me know what part of Cade's game do you think he improves to make the biggest jump on the roster next season? I'm curious. I'm actually curious about that. Because I think he can. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Asar and Ivy. Okay, Ron Holland. Okay. Okay. Who else? You see, I'll say this, and I want to pull up Malik Monk's stats. Because for me, when I look at these players, Malik Monk is 27 years old, and he's under contract for the next 4 years. Well, going to next season, 1, 2, 3 years. He'll be under contract. Here's the thing. If Malik Monk comes to the Detroit Pistons, I don't think it's as much an indication of Jaden Ivey as much as it's an indication of Marcus Sasser and that they're out on Marcus Sasser. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that I agree with it. I want to see Marcus Sasser. I believe in Marcus Sasser. But if they bring in Malik Monk, Marcus Sasser is gone. And I think for the sake of his career, they need to find a home where he can get valuable minutes, or he continues to grow and develop as the third string guard, as other guys have, as Peyton Pritchard has early in his career, as TJ McConnell did early in his career, right? It's not a shame to be like a guy who is going to take some more time despite being a 3, 4 year college guy. But it is to say that don't expect Marcus Sasser to have a large role next year if they bring in Malik Monk. I also wouldn't be shocked that a fourth team doesn't get involved and Malik Monk ends up someplace else. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm also curious if he gets rerouted to New Orleans because they're, trying to make the whole Kaminga deal. And they're like, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If I have to tell y'all who I truly think is going to be uh, the biggest jump, and I think I've been saying this, it's Asar Thompson. It's Asar Thompson. Imagine if only what Asar did last year in flashes, he then does consistently this year. Only. Let's just only take that. What he did last year. What he showed in flashes. Go back and watch his highlights. Go watch his scoring highs, what he showed, the spin moves, the finishing in the dunker spot, attacking off the bounce, the high level passing, the point forward play, um, little pull up jump shot. Imagine if he turns all that in, and he's, like I said, close to 6'8", 6'9", with a plus 7 foot wingspan, and he puts all that together. That's not saying he comes in with a jump shot, consistent jump shot, which you haven't seen yet. Um, that's not saying that he comes in with advanced post game, right? Drop step, up and under, jump hook, stuff like that. That's not saying he comes in with a 3-point shot, let alone just maybe a pull up jumper. Let's just say he only fine tunes and becomes consistent with what he showed last season. That's about a 17 plus points per game. Yo, what's good, Tony? Happy 4th. Yo, what's good, man? Happy 4th. Ah, it's sports times. What's good, man? It's always good to see y'all in here. I think Asar Thompson takes the biggest jump. I think he gets up to around 17 to 20 plus points a game. That's where I think he gets to. Because I keep saying, and this is truly my thought, there's very little that his brother's doing that he can't do. And when I look at what Amen Thompson was able to do, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. And that's in a tertiary role. Remember, he was coming off the bench. He eventually got into that starting spot after Jabari Smith Jr. got hurt. Asar is going to start the season in the starting lineup. He's going to be featured from jump. I think he gets up to 17 points per game. See him improving more as a passer. I think so too. I think he gets more opportunities to facilitate and show his passing chops. And I think that translates almost immediately to everything else he does. Because the more people have to worry about him as a passer, the harder it's going to be to load up against him when he's getting downhill. And with an improved handle, I think he's going to be able to attack the rim, get downhill, get to the free throw line, and be that much more of a factor on the offensive end. Not to even mention how much he's going to get coming from the defensive side of things, being able to get steals, get blocks, get rebounds, get out in transition, and score there easily. I think we see him get 16, 17 points a game. I wouldn't be shocked by that at all. Like at all. Get to the comments here. Asar is so gifted. He often corrects his mistakes, facts, before you can complain about. 100%. 100%. That is a great articulation of a take that I think we've probably all seen over and over. Asar Thompson makes a move and you go like, ugh. And then point 2 or 3 seconds later, all of a sudden he goes, oh, figured out. Oh, regain the handle, great pass. Regain the handle, dunk. Figured it out, got the ball back, and now I'm throwing a lob. And you're like, oh, hey. It's like this like show that you're watching. Takes you through all these emotional roller coasters. That's what Asar constantly does out there. And I think we all know it's because he never had an off season. He never had an off season. And so when you don't have an off season, you don't have the ability to fine tune your game. What we saw was the byproduct of still trying to get your feet under you. I think he comes in this year, his feet are under him. He's gonna ball out. He's gonna ball out. Let me see. I agree. Uh, I hope he still has the ball handling opportunities with the new additions. That is a good point. I am curious what JB Bickerstaff is going to do, and I think it's going to be a testament to who he is as a coach. We are going to discover who JB Bickerstaff is as a coach next year. When you're in that year two, the guys know your system, the guys know your playbook, the guys know your expectations, the guy knows the culture, identity of the team that you've been infusing into them from day one. Now is when you can throw in the next set of layers of play calling. This is where you can build in the counters to the counter of what you're trying to do. And we're going to figure out just how good JB Bickerstaff is. I think he rises to the occasion. But the big kind of indicator is going to be how well he maximizes all the talent, not just some of the talent, not just Cade. Last season was the year of Cade cutting it. Look, we needed him to break out, establish himself as an all NBA superstar, and he did. So everything revolved around that. And everyone else had to just fall in line. This season is about can you maximize all the talent? Because that's the name of the game. That is the name of the game. The teams that went furthest in the playoffs, that's what they were able to do. Maximize every bit of juice that they can squeeze out of their roster. Can JB Bickerstaff do that? That has to get answered this season. And I think it does for the better. Get to some of these other comments here. Roger Hunter. Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Tell me, Stars needs to incorporate that mid-range turnaround fadeaway again. Yeah, it was cold when he was doing it. It was cold. I'm curious, rank Eastern Conference teams. Who do you think is in your top 10? Who do you think is going to be top 6 for the playoffs and then bottom 4 for the play-in? I'm curious what you guys come up with. I think I'm going to make my list at the same time. I've talked about it before a few times, but I think I would be interested to hear from you all. What is your list? Eastern Conference rankings. Who do you guys have as the best team? Who's going to run away with the number 1 seed next season? Is it going to be Cleveland? New York? They got Mike Woodson. I like Jordan Clarkson a lot. Said I don't know, but I'm super high on Orlando. I am too. But I don't know if that team is built for 50 plus wins. Maybe they can get to 50. But I don't think that they score easy enough to get to 60 plus wins and run away because that's the marker to walk away as the number 1 seed in your conference is like 60 wins. Let me see. I'm gonna throw out some See, we got the Hawks. How I do it is I put the teams that for sure I think are going to be in the playoffs. And then as I list each one, I'll either drop them down or elevate them in my standings. Say the Hawks, I like them a lot. I really like what they did. I like Porzingis. I like Double O. Uh, Next season, I think he's going to be that much better. He had a great playoff. Time for Sasser to take that spot back. Yeah, I agree. I think he will too. Boston, I still think Boston can end up better than Atlanta. So I'll put them above Atlanta. Um, let's see. Brooklyn, nope. Charlotte. I think Charlotte makes the play in. I think the Hornets make the play in. I'm gonna call it now. The Cavaliers. Definitely think that they end up being better than the Celtics. Because I don't think they move off of Jared Allen just yet. I don't think they move off of Jared Allen unless they're replacing him with a similar level of talent, but younger. So I'm really intrigued who that is for them. And if they move off of Garland, same thing. They're not going to drop in talent just to get under that second apron. Let me see. There's the Bulls. I don't think the Bulls make the playoffs. Do they make the play in though? That's a good question. Do the Bulls make the play in? I don't like Giddy's defense. I think they're going to be young. I think they fall outside. I think the Bulls fall outside of the play in. Let's see. Got the Magic. Magic. I think they're going to be right beneath the Hawks. The Pistons. I'm going to put the Pistons beneath the Cavs. I got them finishing better than Boston, Atlanta, and the Magic and the Hornets. So far, they're in the number 2 in the East. Uh, the Pacers. Hmm. I think the Pacers are going to struggle. I would say the Pacers finish behind the Pistons. They still got a lot of depth. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put them down here with the Hawks and the Magic. Let's see here. And the Bucks. So, okay, somebody brought up the Bucks earlier, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I like what they're doing. It's weird to say that. I don't think they're gonna be an elite team. They're gonna be a good team because they have Giannis. But this is what I'll say. Yeah, Hornets can really turn their franchise around this season. Happy for them. Facts. Facts. Bottom four: Hornets, Nets, Bulls, Wizards. You have the Nets. I would have the Hornets. I could see the Wizards as well. I like the veterans that they brought in there: CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart, um, Kelly Olynyk. I think those veterans fit really well. Did they buy out Ben Simmons? Because I think he was included in a trade there. Did they buy him out or release him? Somebody let me know in the comment section. But I think the Wizards can be right there because with Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Sarr, Keontae George, Bub Carrington, and then I think they got what, Jeremiah Fears? No, not Jeremiah Fears. They got what's his name? Trey Johnson, correct? Yeah, I think they're gonna light it up. I think that's gonna be a hella good team. I'm not gonna say a hella good team. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a surprising team. Melo hasn't been healthy ever. It kills the team. No depth. You know what? But who did they pick up? They picked up someone as his backup. Who did they pick up that's gonna be backing up LaMelo? Uh, Colin Sexton. He's a dog. He's a dog. He's gonna compete. I'll tell you right now, Charlotte, they are going to compete night in, night out in ways that we have not seen in the LaMelo Ball era. And they got Jameer Watkins too. Yep. Spencer Dinwiddie too. Yep. Those are great acquisitions. Telling y'all, and I've been saying this, it's the middle class of the Eastern Conference of the NBA that has swelled. It's no longer as top heavy in the Eastern Conference as much as it used to be. Injuries, stuff like that. The Western Conference still has some top heavy teams. They have a yeah, I'd probably say they have a really high. See, I want to say usually when I say top heavy, it's a team that I foresee just blowing everybody the freak out the water. Like OKC was doing. I think they're gonna be right back. Fuck, they got Thomas Sorber in the draft. That's some bullshit. I was so mad. They're gonna be so good with him. Um, Chet's gonna be right there. J Dub. Everyone's gonna be better. They're gonna be right there at the top. Denver's gonna be right there at the top. Houston's gonna be right there at the top. Memphis, if Jaw's healthy, will be right there at the top. I like what they did. I like KCP as that point of attack who could play next to Ja. I think they've really missed having a defensive point of attack guy with the whole Desmond Bain, John Morant pairing. And it's also put Jaren Jackson Jr. out of position a lot and having to cover for a bunch of guys. Um, Jalen Wells will be healthy, back ready to go. And what's his name? Zach Edey will be in year 2. I think Memphis is going to be right there back at the top. The Los Angeles Lakers getting DeAndre Ayton. This is going to be one of those seasons where the West is the clear favorite to win it all. They're just going to be extremely top heavy. I think Al Horford would have been nice in Denver, if not Golden State Warriors. I think so too. I think so too. Dwight Pritchard was good, man. And we got 22 people in the chat. Can y'all smash the like button for me? I truly appreciate it. Hit subscribe too if you haven't before. It definitely helps out with the channel and the algorithm. And it lets YouTube know you enjoy doing interactive chats and for me to do more of these. So please help out the channel. Smash the like button for me. It's a little thing, but means a big deal. Appreciate it. Let me get to this comment. Marvin Tolbert, what's up? First time here. Hey, what's good, man? What's good, man? It's good to have you. Welcome to the community, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Get to Dwayne Pritchard's comment here. We need Jalen Duren to be our most improved player. Post up moves, block shots, just mature into a man and cut out the bad mistakes. Uh, Demand being a go to guy 4 or 5 times, low post touches. Man, you took the words right out of my mouth. I don't think that he has a bigger jump than Asar Thompson because I think Asar Thompson is just more talented. But Jalen Duren could be our most important guy. I think having Asar Thompson there, Ivy at the point of attack, improved a perimeter defense, Cade Cunningham being able to play that much more intensely focused defense because he's not having to carry such an offensive load and having depth. Ron Holland, Sasser, Robinson, Levert, Isaiah Stewart back, healthy, Clintman having a designated role. I think we see an even better defensive team. I think Jalen Duren builds off of what he did in the playoffs, and that becomes the regular guy. The 16 and 12 with a block or two, that becomes the regular Duren next season. I think he's going to have a great year. He's going to have a great year. Let me see. Scott Murray. Isn't Nurkic the Hornets starting center? No, he got traded to Utah. Who they have is now Ryan Kalkbrenner out of what's the name of the school? Forget the name of his school. 2-3-time defensive player of the year for his conference. Captain, leader on his team. I think he slides right into that starting role and he looks more than solid. He has a really good freshman rookie year. Kind of similar to probably what Walker Kessler did his first year in Creighton. He's from Creighton. Probably similar to what Walker Kessler did his first year in Utah. Just looks promising. Solid, albeit probably long time starter or top. I don't think he ever cracks like top 10 center, but he's going to be a long time starter. Nothing spectacular, just solid as hell. And then they do have who else do they have on that team? They got a couple other bigs that I think are going to get significant playing time there in Charlotte as well. Let me see. I did forget about him, Jason Page. Yep, awesome signing with along with them. Diddy, all right. Diddy, not sure who signed there. Nurkic was traded to Jazz. Yep, Sexton last week. Ben Simmons still plays for the Clippers. I thought he got traded. I thought he got traded or released. Ben Simmons. Y'all let me know. So I'm making my Eastern Conference rankings right now. Ben is a free agent. Okay. Oh, I forget about the Raptors. I don't know. I thought it was a terrible move to fire Masai Ujiri, but I think he's moving on. He's going to be the next front office leader for the Los Angeles Lakers. Sandro, what's good? What's good? Finally made it. My bad. I wanted to ask you a question. Always here for the questions. Um, really is how it is in this playoffs. Three people had Achilles injuries. What they doing to the people, man? Well, you have to understand the NBA. Y'all heard about Pistons possible interest in Chris Boucher. I like Chris Boucher. I like Chris Boucher a lot. He's kind of one of those thin, wiry guys. He knocks down threes, can block shots, plays with a great motor, competes every single time on the floor. I wouldn't be shocked if they grab some more depth at that forward position, gets out in transition as well. I like him. I think he should be a veteran minimum type of guy. Maybe give him a 2 year, 3 year with a team option for the third. Um, Boucher is a great pickup. Yo, what's good, man? Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Wheezy. Appreciate you, Marvin. You're hilarious, Marvin. You're hilarious. Um, let me get into this Sandro comment here about the Achilles. The NBA, the reason why you don't want to compare today's NBA to any other era is because of the 3-point shot. We have never had an era that the 3-point shot has been this prolific, has been this featured. If you go back and watch Michael Jordan, you go back and watch those Bulls teams, you go back and watch the Lakers, you had guys who can get back on defense in transition and they just go straight to the paint. Guys are with the ball in their hands, 18 feet out, and the guy guarding them is at 10 feet, giving them 6 to 8 feet of space. Not even daring them to shoot because people just didn't shoot those shots. Here's the thing. Guys are pulling up from 25 today, 27 in transition. First good shot, they're taking it. Which means that players are having to cover more ground defensively than ever. And when you're chasing shooters all around the court, what ends up taking place is that you're exerting far more energy on both ends than you have at probably any other point in NBA history. These guys are getting fatigued. And then when they're getting fatigued, they're getting the overuse injuries, the fatigue injuries, the soft tissue injuries. And those soft tissue injuries, they lead to other injuries. One thing that the NBA is going to start doing is taking strains and pulls and soreness really serious. Expect to see most of your favorite players to never play more than 34 minutes a game. It's just irresponsible. It's the best way to set yourself up to get to the playoffs and be no good. I fully expect the NBA teams to adjust by limiting the minutes of its star players, not the number of games, but the minutes. And when they do have any type of aggravated injury, soft tissue injury, fully expect them. I fully expect them to say, we'll wait. We'll wait. Hope that answers your question. Let me see. In my opinion, with work, Duran has a shooting touch that could extend beyond the low block, making him nearly impossible or unstoppable. I completely agree. Let me see. Let me pull it up on X. If you're not following me on X, if you're not on X, if you'd like to follow me on X, please feel free to check me out at Ross Never Stops. At Ross Never Stops. There was yes, right here. So I posted on there, someone did a little montage of Jalen Duren in his first summer league. And he's handling the hell out of the ball. Crossovers through the legs. It looks fluid, it looks smooth. Pull up jump shots. I feel like Dwayne Casey saw that and said, "Hey, we're going to develop that for your long-term potential and the outlook of this team." He let him shoot corner threes, he let him shoot pull-up jump shots. Monty Williams came in and shut all that down. JB Bickerstaff came in and never glanced at it. That's a missed opportunity. But inevitably at the end, it's the player who has to believe in their game. Has to go to the coach and say, "Hey, let me shoot. I can shoot it. I've been working on my jump shot." And the coach has to say, "Okay, based upon how important you are for this team, we can work it in. This is how we'll do it." That is something that I think is really important. Is really important. And if they do it, Durant could become a top 5 center. I think he could become a top 5 center in the NBA. If he gets that jump shot, whether he's hitting threes or not, if he's shooting jump shots with all the rest of his skills, of course, he irons out, not picking up the silly ticky-tack fouls, learns how to set his feet on the screens, um, boxes out, doesn't just crash, uh, begins to communicate better on defense, be more aggressive offensively, all the between the ears stuff, right? That you just naturally improve as you get older. Remember, he's only 22. By the time he's 25, watch out. But if he brings that jump shot along, he can become a top 5 center. There's very few other bigs you can say that about. Miami has one of them, actually, Khalil Ware. I don't think he has the ball handling, though. I don't think he has the post game, but he's a better version of Miles Turner. More athletic, better rebounder than Miles Turner. Really big talent. Some of these comments here. And I got to hop off in a little bit. Let me see. Question. I love our pickups. Great pivot, however. Do you think Grimes would have been a better fit than LeVert? Completely, 100%. Quentin Grimes is healthier, plays better defense, um, and a better knockdown shooter. I just think Philly was like, "You ain't going nowhere. We're gonna lock you up," and he's like, "Sure." And I think he ends up being their starting shooting guard between Tyrese Maxey and Paul George. It's a great role for him, big market, but I think he would have been great for us. He would have been great. Let me see. That was a great question. Get to the last of these questions before I hop off. Hornets and Wizards playing. I 100% could see that. 100% could see that. 100%. By the way, 22 people, 20 people in this chat. Smash the like button for me if you haven't already. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing. It helps out the channel. Truly appreciate y'all. Appreciate this community. 100%. Wizards and the Hornets making it to the play-in. The Toronto Raptors, even though they let go of Masai Ujiri, I think they are either at the top of the play-in or they're in the playoffs. Right now, They're extremely talented, but actually, I don't know what they're going to do the rest of this offseason. I have to put an asterisk next to them. As is, I think they could be a top 4 or 5 seed. So I'm gonna put Raptors right here, behind the Hawks, beneath the Cavs, Pistons, Boston's. I'm sorry, not Boston's, Celtics, uh, and then the Knicks. I think the Knicks might end up being the number 2 seed. If I'm honest, the Knicks could end up being the number 2 seed. Are there any other Eastern Conference teams that I'm missing? I'm trying to think. Wizards in there, Jazz, Raptors. No, Portland, Philadelphia. Ooh, Philly. I gotta factor in Philly because even if Joel Embiid is not healthy, even if he doesn't play, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, Quentin Grimes, and a bunch of role-playing bigs is still quite formidable. I would put them behind the Magic and Pacers. Well, let's put them here. 76ers. Let's see the rest of these questions here. Let me see. Sports Times. JB has to get more creative with the offense next season. Facts. I said that at the beginning. He needs to prove himself. This is going to be the season where he proves he can maximize all the talent. That all the talent has space to grow in the same way in Oklahoma City. You saw guys being able to make plays, being able to look like the best version of themselves within the offensive system. And in Indiana, those guys look like they were the best version of themselves in that offensive system. JB needs to create something similar. JB needs to do something similar. He also, I think, he needs to redeem himself in terms of how he develops big men, because the knock on him was that he's how would you put it? He couldn't develop Evan Mobley. Now, for me, I just thought it was a matter of time. Skinny big men, big men in general, take more time to develop. They usually uh, take their jump in that 4th year, which Evan Mobley did. And I thought that what JB was doing was laying the foundation and the groundwork. I think he said in different interviews, he's like, "Look, there comes a certain point in time he has to take those shots. We can scheme it in all we want, but he's got to take the shot." And he was kind of pointing to, "Hey, this guy is good. I know he's good, but he's got to want to play at that level." And I think this season he was ready to. It wasn't a matter of Kenny Atkinson unlocking him. It was a jump he was going to make, and he did it. And what JB did for him all 3 years before then, I think it has to come into play. If he can unlock Jalen Duren to become a top 5, 10 center over the next 3 years, let's say in 3 years when he turns 25 years old, entering into his prime, he looks like a top 5 center. He's shooting 18 footers, attacking mismatches, looks like a better version of Simonis, um, not Simonis, Domantas Sabonis, Samantas, it's crazy, and Alperen Şengün, a 6'10" athletic version of those two, who can defend the rim. If he can grow into that, JB Bigstaff will have completely vindicated himself. And if he can get the most out of this roster with Ivy and Cade, while keeping Asar engaged and playing at a high level, if he can do that, create an offensive system that can do that, he will have vindicated himself from Cleveland. 100%. 100%. Let me see. I didn't get a chance to finish talking about the Raptors and the Bucks. And I want to talk a little bit about them. Just real short. I don't want to go too long because your boy got a meeting to jump into in about 8 minutes. So much for my nap. But I love being here with y'all, so forget. The Bucks. I love what they're doing, getting younger. I still believe in Kyle Kuzma. Being around a great player, all-time great player like Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think will fall in line and play like a better version of himself in LA with the offensive confidence that he had with the Wizards. And I really like Kevin Porter Jr. as a talent is second to none. There's nobody in the NBA who has more talent than Kevin Porter Jr. Period. It's between the ears though. Can he mature? Can he be consistent? Can he become a dog on defense? Right? Can he make that turn? And I think Giannis helps him to do that. I like them bringing back Gary Trent Jr. I like them bringing back Bobby Portis. Signing Miles Turner was an underrated move. I look at this roster, starting lineup of Turner, Giannis, Kuzma, Gary Trent Jr., Kevin Porter Jr. That lineup gets them into the playoffs. I would take that Bucks over the Pacers. That's real interesting. The Raptors, they'll be in the hunt. I'm gonna put them here. I'm gonna put them above the Sixers. I'll put the Bucks right there. Let me see. Let's see. Marvin Tolbert. Speaking facts, 100%. I'm gonna subscribe. I've heard enough. However, I'm gonna continue to tune in. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Marvin. Appreciate it. Let me see. Scott Murray. Cade was out while Duran was doing that. Now Cade is back. Duran doesn't get the opportunities to run the offense. You know what? They actually did put the ball in his hands to run the offense with the dribble handoffs. Thing is, Duran's going to have to be more aggressive, and I think it's just a natural maturation thing. You know, when you're 21 years old, going on 22, it's easy to defer to other guys because you're young, deer in the headlights. You're figuring out life, right? I mean, imagine if we was 21 playing on primetime television, making tens of millions of dollars. One, I'm in these streets, boy. You saw he was dating what's her name? What's her name? The WNBA player, one that everybody's always mad at, Angel Reese. I'd have been doing the same damn thing. Yo, you let me be 6'10, 6'11, Adonis, swole as hell, with $10 million in the bank, and a big old house, and a nice ride. I'm killing these streets, hurting them. Angel Reese, hell yeah. Smashing. Just saying. I'm a grown man. I don't necessarily think this way all the time. Anyway, I'm just saying, I'm being honest with y'all. 21 years old, memorizing plays, how to set a solid screen, hit the backdoor cut. I'm still locked in. I'm over here too, bro. 21. 21. Can't tell me nothing. In Detroit? In Detroit? I know there's some fine sisters out there. Detroit and Oakland, yo, we sister cities. We sister cities. We rock with each other. We cousins out here. We cousins. I know there's some fine female shit. Fine. Yo, I'm out there. I'm bro. Practice is over. What? What? Some of these guys do the right thing, go home. Those are for the family, man. I'm young, bro. So yeah, it's gonna take Duran a little bit of time. As he matures, playoffs was really good. He's gonna be good. Let me see. See. I know it's a non-basketball question, but if you have um but if you have it, what's one of your favorite video games? I mess with Red Dead Redemption 2. You know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. I have a very addictive personality. I don't play video games. I'm the type of dude, if I get into video games, I'm playing it all the way through. I'm probably gonna start a channel streaming, playing the game. So I just don't pick it up. I got too many other things I'm doing. I do stuff in the community. I got a whole practice. I'm a dad. I got shit to do. I got too many things to do. If I grab a dope video game, especially if it's good, especially if it's hella fun, bro, Probably won't be doing this channel. Let me see. I saw during shooting and doing cold ass moves and warm ups, never use them in games. Facts. But you know what? Like I said, that's something that he has to grow into maturity wise, similar to Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley was the same thing. First 3 years, people were like, come on, man, we want more from you. Year four, that's when we saw it. That's when we saw it. Let me see. Mike Brown gonna have him right. Won't be so Brunson or bust. Completely. 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 Especially with Jordan Clarkson off the bench. With Deuce McBride. Expect that pairing coming off the bench and do work. They're gonna do work. 100%. That's gonna be a scary team. And Miles Bridges, OG Anunoby, work. Healthy Mitchell Robinson from the beginning. Double big lineups at times. Karl Anthony Towns. You're not even going to have to depend on Karl Anthony Towns. All right. They're going to be nice, bro. New York is not to be slept on. Still going to be slow, though, and vulnerable defensively. See, Kuzma's game need to mature big time. But when you play next to a superstar, look, I get it. I'm playing immature as hell, too, if I'm up in DC, Chocolate City, and the next dude who's supposed to be as good as me is Jordan Poole. Can't tell me nothing. I'm shooting this ball. Who am I passing to? Alex Sarr? Not passing to him. I'm shooting 18 to 25 times a game. If I'm Kyle Kuzma in Chocolate City, I'm shooting that hole every single time. And then I'm pointing to the sister in the front row, second row, who I got tickets to sit right there. That one's for you. See you later. We're gonna go out. That's what I'm doing. That wasn't a playoff team. I don't judge none of these guys by how they perform on teams that are rebuilding, reloading with young guys, and they're a veteran entering into their prime. They're supposed to ball hog. It's not going to look pretty. If you don't have a veteran team, you don't have the veteran coach, it's going to be hard to win. They know that too. They ain't BSing. They're just playing the cards that they're dealt. Kuzma's game is going to look real mature next year with the Bucks. Kuzma for Collins? Nah. I'll take Kuzma over Collins. Let me see. Why don't one of these good teams take a flyer on Cam Thomas? He is one of the great old school scorers, kind of like a Mitch Richmond. I think he's going to break out. I think he's going to break out too. I think that the starting point guard ends up being uh what's his name that they drafted? Should I just slipped his name from my mind? The one who played in Europe last season. Not the French, not Nolan Traore, not Igor Dimin. What's his name? That always bugs me when I can't think of the name. Delano Banton, perfect for Bucks. Oh, did they pick up Delano Banton? I love that move for them. Tenny Wolf, no. I don't give Ben Seraph. I always got the best chat. I got the best chat out here. Y'all stay on it. You know what I mean? Oh, man, I gotta hop off. Man, it's been so dope. I always love getting on here with y'all. The Knicks also fear Cade. They fear the hell out of Cade. And Asar Thompson. And Asar Thompson. And Duran. They got nothing for any of them cats. And they ain't even seen they remember Ivy from last year. Scary. What should the Cavs do? The Cavs should sit tight and be smart. Make a trade when it's the right trade. That's what the Cavs should do. That's a good question. You don't ever want to make a look. When you were the number one seed with the best record in the league, you know what you don't do is give up one of your talented guys that help you get there in the first place for some BS. That's the quickest way to get your ass fired as a front office person. The best way to do it, trade either Jarrett Allen or Darius Garland for two guys. Split the contract in half. Or maybe 60%, 30%. And I know they got Lonzo already as a backup. If he can stay healthy, they won't mind moving off of Garland. Especially because Garland always ends up hurt too. But it's to say that they have a team, and I'm talking about Cleveland here. I moved off the Bucks for a little bit. Cleveland Cavaliers have a team that's supposed to win. They still got Donovan Mitchell, who is a top 10 player. He is a bona fide superstar. You must put the right guys around him. Between Garland and Jarrett Allen, you have an opportunity to flip one of them to split that contract for two other guys. I don't know who it's going to be yet. I don't know who it's going to be yet, but I wouldn't be shocked. Jabari Walker to the Sixers. Ooh, that's a great pickup. Would love to see Dame to the Wolves. Scary hours. Yeah, but he's not coming back till next season. They're not in any rush. I don't think Dame is in any rush to sign anywhere. Wherever he goes, he's going to sign because he has the opportunity to win and contribute. And that's what I was talking about. Brooklyn, Ben Seraph. He's going to be the starting point guard. You can stick Cam Thomas next to him because Ben Seraph is like 6'6", 6'7". And so you could let Cam Thomas play that guard position because he's only about 6'2", 6'3". He's got to get dedicated defensively. But I like Zaire Williams at the 3. They have some good versatility there. They still got Nicholas Claxton. They got some other guys who can defend in the front court and Michael Porter Jr. That team's going to have some balance. They're going to be talented. They're going to be young. They're still going to lose. They're going to miss out on the play-in, still get probably a top 4 pick. Whoever they get is going to be a franchise changer. CP3 to the Bucks. What you think? Wonderful pickup. Wonderful pickup. You have CP3 mentoring Kevin Porter Jr. and playing alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. Big time. Big time. That is a big time move for the Bucks. Now I'm supposed to be in the 6 o'clock meeting. Y'all make it so hard to leave. Every time I want to hop off, y'all be pulling me back with these dope ass questions. Making for some great conversation. I appreciate y'all. If you have an opportunity already, smash the like button for me. I appreciate it. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing for me and the channel. Appreciate y'all being a part of the community. Help a brother out. Is it just me? I like the name. We still need that 7-footer. When will the Pistons learn? Well, so they still have Tolu Smith. Tolu Smith is about 6'11", 7 feet. He's massive. He's massive. And Jalen Duren being able to play more minutes. Isaiah Stewart, I think we're fine there. Sure, I'd like for Isaiah Stewart to be 7 feet, but if Isaiah Stewart was 7 feet, we wouldn't be able to afford him. He'd cost $35 million, $40 million, right? I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Some of these last questions before I hop off so I get into this meeting. Y'all killing me. Let me see. Did Delano Banton go to the Bucks? Oh, he said they didn't, but I think it's a good move. I would too. It'd be a great move for them. Great. One of those sneaky moves. One of those sneaky good moves that plays out in a major way. Where everyone's just saying like, damn, he just keeps contributing. Right? Bucks need let me see. Broderick Hunter. Follow JB's game plan, kept Duren's game from being unlocked. Yeah, he did. You're right. Duren followed the game plan. And I understand that JB's first year was about stability, not about a whole bunch of X's and O's. It's about stability. That's what he provided. So things were going to be consistent. They were going to be staple. They were going to be basic. I get it. That's what it was supposed to be. Slide down here. Where walks the Sixers, great pickup for them. CP to the Bucks, I would love that. I don't think he's back in San Antonio. They've got too many guards there, especially with De'Aaron Fox. Hasn't happened. Just asking. Appreciate. Where should Dame go? Miami back to Portland. I would love him to end his career in Portland. He's loved there, man. And I think his family still lives there. I think his ex-wife and his kids still live there. It's like you got family there, you got your kids there in school. You got a lot of love there. Got a recording studio, all that stuff. But I think he works himself into shape. He gets through the rehab, and then he figures out where he wants to go as he's ready, so that he can pick and choose. Right? He'll get on the whole interview circuit, get his name in the buzz. He's still getting money. Right? There's no desperation there. And then he's going to be able to say, okay, where do I want to go? That's the right situation for me. Because that's what he's going to be focused on more than anything. Miami, I wouldn't think that's the right situation anymore. Let me see. Chill out. We need to have a tea party or something, eat some crackers, and then we can go and follow the baddies. Also love you, man. Appreciate it. Fabulous. For a 400-year-old, yep, old as hell. Continue doing your thing. Appreciate that, Sandro. Appreciate it. Eugene Purdy. What up? Just got here. Much love, family. I'm gonna have to play this one back. Please do. Please do. I appreciate all y'all. Build in Miami. I don't know. I have no idea what Phoenix is doing. I'm not even paying attention to Phoenix. I don't even care about Phoenix. All right. I don't care about Phoenix this season at all. Until they figure it out. I do like Dylan Brooks there next to Devin Booker. But what the hell are y'all doing? What the hell are y'all doing in Phoenix? I don't care. I don't care. Who cares? Y'all suck. Peace. Hey, I gotta get out of here. I'm late for this meeting. 7 minutes past the hour. I'm gonna get at y'all next time. Appreciate all y'all, man. Smash the like button for me. Hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. It's your man, 100 grand. Ross with the Rock never stops. And I'm gonna see y'all next time as the free agency continues and we start looking at Summer League because Summer League is gonna be lit. And if I'm lucky, I might get a chance to get down there too. All right, I'm gonna get at y'all later.